So I'm about to pull apart a rather important piece of this Magnavox turntable here, and I figured I might as well go ahead and start this before I go messing up something I really shouldn't. This is a belt-driven Magnavox model, as you can see. Yeah, I don't have any other belt-driven models, so this belt goes bad, and well, I'm kind of screwed. So we're just gonna hope it doesn't go bad. Anyway, I am working on this back here right now because, as it is, when it does its retract, the arm doesn't drop. It just stays where it was at when the mechanism let it go. So it kind of just floats all over the place. It never drops onto a record, never does anything useful. So I have removed the C-clip and spring from the far end of it. Those are up here. And I'm going to pull this rod out entirely and see why it is gumming up so bad. Hey, you! Oh, man. That does not look pretty right there. So, I'm going to clean that up real good, give it some 3-in-1, and we're going to put it back together and put it in this new stereo I just got today, of which this video will actually be about. Well, it may not be super easy to get a paper towel through the bore of this thing, but I think I've gotten the worst of that green mess off the middle of it. Now for the 3-in-1, and this thing will go back together. Now, unfortunately, this arm here also is quite sticky as well. And unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to take this off without removing the tone arm, and that's not something I want to do. So I'm going to leave that as is and just fix the automatic part, because this rod here is run by that as well as this arm here, but it'll work without this not being sticky, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to fix this and we'll go from there. Okay, so all ready to go. Got the needle put back in. Let's start it up and see what happens. Okay, right now it's not going to do anything because I haven't told it to. But now, pick it up, move it over, and then drop it on the disc that currently isn't there. Alright, cool, very cool. I'm going to drop this back on here. Oh well, didn't quite get that right. And we're going to grab a record, of which I have plenty now, for sure. Okay, this is supposed to do its thing automatically, so let's see how that works. Just like that. And we'll go over here, start it up. The plate is moving, and now everything else should move. Alright. Mostly works. It kind of skipped a little bit there, but alright. At least it drops the tone arm now. It wasn't doing that previously, so at least that'll work now. And as you can see, this is an all-new stereo cabinet I just picked up from the recent estate sale. This one right here, I got it with the intent, you know, I saw it on Wednesday when I was there, and I was like, wow, that is a really nice looking receiver unit. This did not eject before. I had to actually add a spring to the release mechanism so that it would actually work. I guess it used some sort of pneumatic deal in there that had no springs previously. I don't know how it's supposed to work, but let's just say that when I hit the eject button, it didn't go anywhere. So I added the spring and now it actually ejects. So this got fixed, and my intent when I saw it was, it's like, okay, if it's still here Friday, they're going to give me a heck of a deal on it that I'm not going to pass up, and I'll probably just take it home and pull out the internals and stick them somewhere maybe replace that stereophonics in the southeast bedroom. But now that it's here and I've heard it, I'm like, wow, okay, I might attempt to sell this thing as is. Everything is in working condition. The AM/FM radio. It's got this cool little bit here. It's not digital. It is still analog, but it has the frequency readout. Both AM and FM. It was skipping real bad. Like, it was going all the way up to like a 192 point whatever, and all the way down to 64 something. But I think that's just because the whatever it uses to tune was kind of dirty, kind of like dirty potentiometers get. And now it's good all the way from 87.3 to 108.5. Even though most FM is between 87.7 and 107.7. Anyway, yeah, I found out the signal strength light only works in AM for some odd reason. I'm not entirely certain why that is. I guess it's just the way this thing is, but it works. The only thing I can find light-wise that doesn't work on this thing is there is a light there. There are wires going to this light. They don't seem to work. And, well, it doesn't seem to work, unfortunately. And all of these guys work. It shows better on FM. Get me to a station. There we go. 96.1 is a very high output station. You might notice. So it's got all these buttons here, of course. AM, FM, record player, tape player, and it's got an auxiliary input I've got my iPod plugged into currently. Tape deck works perfectly. It does play a little fast, but it works perfectly. And the tape counter works. The tape belts are good, which surprised the heck out of me. This thing even has documentation. It's got, yeah, everything here. It's got, it has a repair. The previous owners had this thing repaired in Henderson at one point. I saw the date on this thing. Where did it go? Where did the date go? Maybe it's not on this one. Okay, here we go. Date in March 29th, 1994. So, yeah, this thing's been around a little bit. Is that on here? No, it is not. Okay, whatever. Anyway, apparently, I guess somehow the record player was playing reversed, or I'm not entirely sure how that would be the case. Tape player, ADA tape and turntable runs backward. How does this thing even run backward? I thought like AC motors don't run backward. Who knows? Anyway, it's got the original installation stuff. It's got the owner user manual. Really, it's amazing. The shape of this thing is magnificent. The shape of the cabinet is magnificent. Like, close that. Not much in the way of surface scratches at all. The only unfortunate thing is this section over here doesn't open at all. It's just a storage space, I guess, and you just stick whatever in there and hope you don't forget it's in there. Anyway, let's hear some audio for a minute. I'm gonna get my iPod going on a track that won't bust me off YouTube, and we'll hear this thing play. It's nice. Okay, let's go with this one for right now. I'm not going for anything particular. Auxiliary, and we'll turn it up some. Let's see. Yes. It's not turned up real high right now, but oh man, I love the way this thing sounds. I went ahead and pulled the back covers off because I had to take the whole unit out in order to fix that tape eject mechanism. Got some fiberglass insulation back here and a massive speaker underneath a little speaker. I think they're both 8 ohm speakers. I don't know if that's I think that's a 10 right there. But yeah, they sound good and it looks like the suspension's in really good shape, so it's nice. Got that capacitor there acting as a semi crossover, so it's not an active crossover. So yeah, all the fun electronical stuff up in here. It's got outputs for an external speaker set, auxiliary input, and auxiliary output. So you can send this off to whatever, another receiver or whatever. It's got a built-in FM antenna, and of course it's got the built-in AM antenna down here. So yeah, it's also got a light, a power indicator in the front of it, which is kind of interesting. That was kind of cool. So that's it for now, I think. Good looking system, good working system. Put it up for sale, and if it doesn't sell, alright, fine. I guess I get to just take it out and build a custom receiver. Because there's no way I'm throwing this out. And I just don't need another big old cabinet like this. Size is ridiculous. Especially when I have this one back here, which you can't see because it's buried. All sorts of other stuff. Look at all this. Look at all these. These are just from today. And then I have these from Wednesday. So I have a lot of records to go through right now. I've got that one, and I have this unit in here, which is another Magnavox. And this is the one with the black face and dials and everything. This is the other nice one. Yeah, everything works on it too, so it's great. And I think this one's actually a little bit shorter side to side than the new one is, which is fine by me. Oh heck yeah, it's definitely shorter. I'm looking at the size difference between that one and this one. That one is definitely shorter, with that one in there being the shortest. So yeah, I don't need anything this big, nothing else. I'll just pull the receiver out, build a little enclosure for it, put it on some speakers. There might be a way I can actually pull the speakers or enclosures out of here. Just kind of build it custom or something, I don't know. Whatever, right? But that's it. It works. Couple little odds and ends. Like this over here, it's not going to go down by itself very quickly. Actually, it's not going to do anything at all right now. But yeah, it'll go down, just not very quickly right now, because that one piece is gummed up pretty bad. So, that's it. For sale for the moment. Until such time that I decide, well, it's been on long enough, I'm not going to bother trying to sell it anymore. Just going to take it apart and build it custom. Use it, because it's a nice receiver.